right, people. Been a minute. Um, it's been like a week. It's been a week, on my end. Life has been lifing. Shawu, cut it. Like, we just went for like an hour long walk. Like, ain't nothing wrong. I swear. Like, the door is open. She just want me to tell her she can get out. But, like, there's a space. Like, I just did the thing. But anyway, yeah, it's been a week on my end. Life is lifing. Dealing with a move of sorts. Um, bed is gone. It's at the place I was supposed to be going to. But that's a whole complication in and of itself. But irregardless, always here for peace and positivity, as best as I can put forth. So I'm going with the flow for what it's worth. Yeah, that's pretty much like where I am. Just kind of going with the flow, being held, being loved, being loved, being loved and being loved, keeping those two things hand in hand. And so, I just want to say I appreciate the people that have checked in and said, hey, I ain't seen you in a minute. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. That sense of community, because I'm really not the type, contrary to like, yeah, I'm full of love and I'm always for my people, and I'm here to give that, but to receive it in such a way, in such an anomalous fashion is, you know, breathtaking, so to say. Um, for me, where I'm at right now, I think what I have to give is a couple of things, actually. Something I said last night, and I was asked to repeat it, and I didn't get how, uh, you know, impactful it is remember, people will shame you for things they're ashamed of, right? Whether that be like innocuous as like pooping, or even living your life in a way that works for you, right? And on the back end of that, right, something else that, has come to my attention recently is sometimes the advice that people give you is out of fear because they're uncomfortable with the way that you're moving, because it does not coincide with how they would move, because they would be afraid if they were in your shoes. Hear me when I say that. The things that people will advise you on sometimes is out of fear because they can't contemplate where you are or what you're going through. It's out of a place of fear and love for you, right? Something to keep in mind: your path may not always align with the people around you, and that's okay, right? Like, take the love, take the wisdom. I'm not saying anybody who gives you advice is wrong and they don't care and they don't know, actually change the scenery. Give me a sec. So I had to step away for a second and just kind of, clear the space. Um, but yeah, you know, people will advise you out of love a lot of times, but also that love comes with a certain level of fear. If you're doing something that makes them uncomfortable, which justly so, that advice may be very fear fueled. Um, so you just got to be on the lookout for that. Would be my advice, right? Especially for right now. I'm in kind of like a tumultuous time. It's kind of hard on my end, finances, living situation, adulting, lifing, the whole nine hitting me. Wah, Mike Tyson. I mean, I'm black eye out here, like really, really, right? So just in the space that I am, I always look to give back and how can I inform the next person, like, do for yourself. If I can do it, you can do it, right? And so that's really something I want to pass on and give forward is just be on the lookout to be on the lookout for advice that may be fear fueled, right? So if you get some advice, it's kind of like, I don't know if that aligns. If it don't align, it don't align. But wisdom is wisdom. Take it with a grain of salt. Take it with you, right? Um, and then that first point that I mentioned earlier about people will shame you for the things that they're ashamed of, and a lot of times that has nothing to do with you, right? So it's just something to keep in mind as well. So, those are some things. And I think on the point of where I am at life right now, it's important for me to let other people know, like, it's okay to be down and out. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to try and figure it out. Because I had a conversation with a client yesterday, and it was in regards to my generation. I'm 27, right? Soon to be 28, but my generation not having work ethic, right? And I have to explain it. It's not that we don't have work ethic. It's just that we recognize that within the system we're in, we're selling ourselves to slavery. And when you look at the other people that are within this slavery, nobody's happy. Everybody hates where they are, or they're in a weird, paradoxical state of uh, addiction, right? Long running, systemic, cultural addiction. Women, men, sex, alcohol, drugs, gambling, the materialism, like all of it, right? We're in this weird state of addiction, or you can look and see that, like, hey, y'all ain't happy. And it's clear you're not happy. Like, you need therapy and you need to seek God and, like, maybe realign yourself with purpose. But when our generation, at least from my perspective, and someone such as myself can look and say, I'm looking at everybody that's doing that, and none of y'all seem to really be happy. None of y'all really seem to be thriving. Like a very small few percentage seem to be thriving. And to me, that's just not realistic. That's a bad bet. And I think a lot of us can align with that, saying like, okay, what y'all doing, I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. I can't get with that. You know, and just explaining that perspective to her that it's not that we don't want to work. Like, we're fine working. We're not fine slaving, right? I don't dream of slavery. Um, all said to say, to bring it back to home, that it's okay to be down and out and figuring it out, right? Making your way what will work for you, because what works for them may not always work for you, right? So take what you can, leave what you can't. Maybe a couple grains of that you can't and bring it with you. It might be useful in the future, but you know, I think it's important to take your time and to not move out of fear. Okay, and I come from low income. Yeah, I've seen people with success and that exists around me, but we move with fear. We're always in this constant state of survival, right? And that's not doing you no favors. It's really not. So, and we know this. We know this. That's the crazy thing. We know, like, yeah, I'm kind of moving erratic. I'm doing what's not good for me. Woo, woo, woo. Like, then change. When you gonna do different for yourself? You know? If you don't start now, you'll never do it. If it's always tomorrow, 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 right? Then, like, you just not gonna get there. And so for me, I choose to just start today. And it's not easy. I think a part of this journey for me, posting at least once a week, um, just to kind of show, hey guys, life is hard. Uh, like right now, like literally empty. You know what I'm saying? Everything gone. You know, but life is hard, and that's okay. Right? Find the beauty within it when you can. And coming from someone such as myself, if you only knew, you know what I'm saying, the ideation be going crazy, right? I'm really thankful for my loved ones for always holding me down and being there for me, but it's difficult. It is so difficult. Um, but for me, what I find, peace in showing up, you know, best I can, showing up, living in my purpose, talking with God, the universe, however you want to, the higher energy, the connective, whatever. I enjoy having those conversations and saying, cool, thank you. I'm grateful. Let me live in my purpose. And sometimes living in your purpose can be the scariest thing ever for you, for the people that love you, because it's not always going to look systemic. It's not always going to have the craft that's commonly followed, right? It's the path unfettered. It's not always gonna be easy, but as I say, we here. Um, Me and Shawu, as I said earlier, we went for a little hour long walk. Just connected. She getting better on that leash. You know what I'm saying? And I love to see it. Love to see it because she crazy. But I appreciate her in the journey because again, it just connects me with myself. Be patient with myself like I could be patient with my dog. Be patient with myself like I'd be patient with a child. Be patient with myself like I'm patient with elderly. Be patient with myself like I seek for others to be patient with me, like I am with others. Give that same love to yourself. You deserve it. All of these things are things that we know, but you'll give amazing advice to somebody you care about, but you won't take it yourself. What's up with that? Hmm? You don't think you deserve it? If not you, then who? You know? So it's just something I've been thinking on, man. Love yourself more. Do for you, truly. Cause I know for me, when I'm feeling the most down and out, God got me. I may be hesitant on the road I am walking, but I walk with complete belief and faith. I believe in mine because I know mine believe in me. So whatever direction I'm going in, I may not know where this roller coaster is taking me, but it's within you. You gotta understand to understand. You know, so it's those little things, man. Connect with your higher source, your higher power. Living your purpose. Don't move so fearful. It's okay to be afraid. It is okay. It exists. But when you recognize what you're afraid of is potential, potential is good or bad, baby. It's up to you to decide what perspective you're gonna live in that potential. Show up every day. Do the work you know you're good at. Be prideful, right? And I don't mean, oh, I'm full of pride, blah, blah, blah. Not a negative connotation, but have some pride about yourself. Be proud of what you can do. Stand up, show up, the whole nine. You know, learn to be humble, but also, what I'm saying, every now and again, pop it. Because if you worked hard, it's okay to say, I've worked hard. I'm working hard. Your hard work don't have to look like their hard work, which ain't gotta look like Todd's hard work, right? Just show up and be honest with yourself, hold yourself accountable. Those things, if you got that, in my honest, what I'm saying, humble, you all right. I think another thing to talk on before I get out of here, because I don't want to make this too long, but I want to, I'm keeping my commitment. But monetary wealth don't always feed your soul, right? Sometimes it's wealth of love, of happiness, of experiences, of life. And if you woke up today, you pretty wealthy. I don't care if you peg legs too, or you got the lazy eye. You woke up, you know. Be grateful, be wealthy in the right ways, and pass that knowledge forward. Take that knowledge somebody's giving to you. Each one teach one. It's cliche, but these are the things that we need to hear from one another. I hope we stand up. And I know it's way down on us. You know what I'm saying? I know that. I'm mm, mm, I'm struggling. If you know, you know I'm struggling. But it's okay. It is. For y'all that hear me, it is. You are, we are, right? Somebody gonna say, okay, I don't know, I lost them. It's okay. The sauce is there, replay it. It is. I am. You are. We are. Everything else subjective. But that's all I got. I just wanted to reach out, show love. You know, don't pause life. Keep going. You're not in this alone. How have you shown yourself love today? How do you reject fear when it's hard? Those are the questions I have. I really do hope for discourse, and I want to hear from y'all. We not alone in this. We're gonna keep going. I got some things to share going forward. Some things I hope to be able to bring to fruition. So I appreciate y'all for showing up, showing love, being here for me as I am for you all. And be wealthy in love, guys. Be held. That's what I got. Peace.